Who can remain holy in a city of flesh and blood? Flashes of lightning flashed in the darkness. Chaos, tension. A man knelt, his hands trembling, his eyes turned to the sky without reply. Behind him, the city screamed. Laughter, lust, violence. Shadows danced on the fiery walls as the cries of the wicked echoed in the night. Suddenly, light pierced the darkness. Two radiant beings descended, eyes like blazing stars. They walked through the sinful streets, untouched by the filth around them. Women in silk and sin peered through their smoky veils, laughing with eyes burning like coals. Men growled, drunk with power, clawing at what they desire. Fire rises in the distance. A mother clutches her child. A scream cuts through the night like a blade. A hand grabs another, pulling, dragging. Through the alleys of despair, hearts pound. The sky burns. Time is running out. This is not just an ancient tale. It is a divine warning that echoes through time. When justice no longer sleeps. When sin fills its cup. Fire will fall. You will witness the fall of a city that mocked heaven. You will stand on the brink of mercy and judgment. And you will ask, if this happened once, can it happen again? This is Sodom. This is Gomorrah. This is humanity's darkest hour. A story about lust, a story about angels, a story about fire. Prepare yourselves, because when God speaks, the earth will tremble. A lot in the redemption of God. The movie. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah smoke curls in the evening air. The streets of Sodom are filled with the noise of laughter, the shouts, the footsteps of lust and violence. Behind closed doors and under flickering torches, injustice reigns. Men abandon truth. Women mock innocence. Mercy is a forgotten word. And at the center of it all stands Lot, Abraham's grandson, a man torn between two worlds. He builds his home among the wicked, but his heart still whispers prayers to a holy God. A voice rings out from the darkness, holy, sad, steadfast. If there are 10 righteous in the city, I will not destroy it, God says to Abraham. But not even 10 were found. Then the messengers came, 2 angels clothed in light, their eyes blazing with judgment and mercy. They entered the city gates, unnoticed the dust on their feet, the fire of their mission. Lot welcomed them. He bowed. My lords, come into my house, rest, be safe. But the city would not let them rest. The wicked gathered. They pounded on the door, demanding to defile what was holy. Lot stood trembling, but he refused to surrender what was holy. Have you ever felt like you were the only one who still had faith in a blind world? Comment below, I am still standing, or I am waiting for an angel to guide me. Sign up now, because the fire is coming, and the rescue is just beginning. Night felt like a curse. Over the city, the stars were hidden. A foul wind blew through the alleys of Sodom, carrying the smell of wine, blood, and smoke. Lot's house stood trembling in silence, lit only by a flickering oil lamp. Inside, the two divine messengers sat calm and still, their presence like thunder waiting to speak. But outside, chaos was brewing. It began with whispers, then footsteps, then fists. The men of Sodom, young and old, rich and poor, crowded before Lot's house, their hearts burning with corruption. They had seen the angels enter. They demanded them. "Bring them out!" They shouted, their voices turning wild. "Let us take them!" Lot rushed to the door, his heart pounding, fear choking his voice. "My brothers," he pleaded, "don't do this evil." But reason had no place in Sodom. They pushed open the door. They clawed at the walls. They screamed, laughed, and cursed. And then a flash. A blinding light exploded from within. The angels rose unmoved and raised their hands. Suddenly the crowd staggered. They blinked. They screamed. Darkness. They were blinded. They stumbled over one another, scratching at the walls they had just tried to tear down. The screams turned to groans. The chaos turned to panic. Inside, the angels turned to Lot. "Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law? Sons? Daughters? Get them out, now!" Lot ran to his sons-in-law, pleading, but they laughed. They thought he was joking. So Lot turned back, broken. Then the words came, like an earthquake in his soul. "Take your wife and your daughters. Leave, or you will be swept away in the punishment of this city." Still Lot lingered. So the angels took him by the hand, his wife and his two daughters. They pulled them out, carried them through the gate, out onto the hill. "Flee for your lives," they commanded. "Don't look back, don't stop." And so they ran, through the valleys, through the darkness, through the trembling and the doubt. Behind them, the sky split, and then it collapsed. Fire, a rain of brimstone and flame consumed the land. Houses burned, towers collapsed. Flesh turned to ashes. The city cried out, then died away. But among the running feet, one pair faltered. Lot turned back. "No, go on!" But his wife, she turned back. Her heart lingered where her feet had come. Her eyes were on what was lost, and she grew still. She turned salty. Lot cried out, his voice breaking with grief. But the judgment was over. He held his daughters close, his tears melting away in the roar of the heavenly fire. And then, a silence. The fire had stopped. The sky was clear. Smoke curled over what had been Sodom. But Lot and his daughter were still alive, shaken, burning with grief, but still alive. God had spared them. This was not the end. This was the beginning. The world had changed, and so had Lot. Lot fell to his knees. His daughters hugged each other, eyes wide with grief and disbelief. The world as they knew it had ended. But they had survived, not by accident, but by mercy. The wind howled, but most of all, Lot cried through his tears. Though the world perish, God is with those who trust. They climbed higher up the mountain, each step away from destruction, each breath a reminder of grace. There was no feasting, no music, just silence and survival. But in that silence was a promise made. God does not abandon the righteous. Lot looked up at the night sky. The stars pierced the smoke, like hope overcoming despair. His heart still ached, but within it, a seed of faith remained. Because even when darkness enveloped, God opened a way. The final message: no matter how dark it is where you live, God always opens a way. Don't look back. If you feel this story is good and meaningful to you, please share the video to let more people know about God. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our latest videos. And don't forget to like the video to give us more motivation, to have more motivation to produce more good and